Hey everybody, welcome back for some more World of Warships. Today, this is my first Sailout in the Tier 8 United States destroyer, the U.S.S. Benson. And I'm teamed up with one of my usual division mates, Demolisher 2002. He's also sailing a Benson. And we decided we were going to head for B, because that's kind of where the map layout somewhat dictated we go. We could have gone C, we could have gone B really, but we're so close and directly pointed at B that there was really kind of no point going anywhere else. So I play this one aggressively. I could have played a bit more defensively with a obviously completely stock Benson, but decided to see what it could do and kind of charged in somewhat recklessly, but it works out in the end. You'll see. I've been looking forward to the Benson more because it leads to the gearing and the 7,000 nautical mile range torpedoes that the gearing gets. And the like 250 that it gets it per launcher with like 87 different launchers that it has. I'm exaggerating slightly for those of you who haven't seen the gearing. It does have pretty long range torpedoes and the gun reload on the gearing is pretty insane. But it's not quite as I exaggerated there. Still, the Benson is pretty good, and I'm excited to get it fully modded out and get some upgrades to it. Now, my Benson is completely stock here, as in I don't even have any of the plug-in upgrades for it, much less any of the stuff that you can actually, the modifications that you can finish with some research score. So, my Benson is completely brand new out of the shipyard. Pretty fast, though, in its stock configuration, as it should be. A little bit worrisome with the enemy battleships off there in the distance, but they were a bit concerned with getting in too close. I'm pretty sure because they knew there were destroyers in at the B point if they couldn't see anything, and destroyers are dangerous. Pretty dangerous to battleships at this tier. I waited to fire until we just about had the point captured, just to make sure there was no return counter-battery fire that was going to knock away our capture points. And naturally, New Orleans gets in a little bit closer than I really was happy about. So it was time to crank up the speed and the smoke and get the heck out of Dodge.
All stations, concentrate fire.
And unfortunately, Demolisher also... We weren't using voice comms here, so... We both used our smoke, but it ended up being okay because we kind of branched off from each other and sort of made a Y smoke pattern, which gave us a bit longer coverage, a bit more room to duck into. Was able to recognize before I fired that the New Orleans was moving backwards. I'm not always, sometimes I'm firing a little faster than I realize where people are, and then unfortunately, somehow my shot still missed them. Benson's got pretty neat gun sounds, I'll say that. You can hear him a little better later on. Now these torpedoes here, there wasn't a whole lot I could do. I had to swerve at the last possible second so I didn't pull back in front of the other one. Coming in on my port side and ended up taking the one on the starboard, about dead amidships almost, but I was able to recover it, thankfully. And here comes the cheapest kill I'm ever going to get in the Benson. 470 HP. But, I mean, what are you going to do? Gotta take the destroyers out. Man, that New Orleans just got rocked by a Gneisenau. Yikes. So we've got A and B, or rather B and C, I should say, fairly well locked down here with the enemy ships kind of holding back now that all their cruisers and destroyers between B and C are gone. So the battleships are hanging back a bit because they know they're going to run into torpedoes if they move in any closer. So not too bad. And like I said to Demolisher, yeah, he said it went well for me, and sure it did. I mean, I came out of there alive, got a capture and sank a destroyer, but didn't really do a lot of damage to anybody. We did get the capture, and we've got a pretty significant ticket lead. And yes, a super cheap kill. I didn't know how low his HP was during the battle when I killed him, but I knew it was low. I mean, I could tell he had a very, very low health bar. So we're going to try to cut in behind this Colorado here. The good thing here is, if you look at the mini-map, you can see that we've got a battleship and a cruiser coming behind us, and they should draw the attention of the two battleships in front of us. They should be sighted before we are. They should draw the focus in the guns, and there it goes. The Colorado is at least firing at them. The Nagato should join in shortly, which should allow us to move in a little bit closer. Now, hopefully, in a situation like this, the enemy will be zoomed in their gun sight mode, and they won't even see us until the mini in-game thing tells them that they're enemy sighted. So looking at my mini-map, I'm about to be detected here. So I get my torpedoes off before I'm going to fire. And once I fire and I'm revealed to them, now I'm just trying to pump as many shots in on the enemy Colorado as I can before I get killed. I've kind of accepted that this is going to be the end here with 3 battleships within sight of me. And now 4 with that Missouri coming in. I was a little worried about the Missouri. Took a massive hit from the Nagato there, and I'm not even sure how I survived it, because really that should have buried me. So I'm just trying to get a fire on this Colorado, or as much damage as possible. Just to get a fire going on him and hope that the team can cash in on that. Start some more fires and get him to burn for a while, because he's got quite a lot of his health left. No such luck so far. And I held off my fire here because I realized I'm right at the edge of detection range. So I held off and didn't fire again and was able to go back invisible. And figure, well, if I can get invisible, I might as well close in closer, wait for my torpedoes to reload and get another torpedo run on these guys rather than firing what should be fairly ineffective gunshots from this distance and hoping for a fire, which is not really going to do much. So that was what I was thinking there. Now that I'm invisible again, give my torpedoes a little bit more time to finish their reload, close in on the enemy and see if I can't get a good torpedo launch at them. If nothing else, the torpedo launch chases them away and denies them the area in between those islands and will keep them from being able to come back over towards B and C. So while I may not necessarily be able to get a hit on them and kill them, or even damage them, I may be able to keep them from pushing back towards the east and buy our team more time and more ticket loss towards a victory. So it's not necessarily what you can do with killing your enemies that matters. Sometimes it's what you can do with chasing your enemies away. Now these torpedoes here, I fired on a tight spread and went back again. I'm going to be detected by that Takao before too long. And this is where I was talking about the guns sounding pretty cool. Listen to this right here. Pretty cool rapid fire. Now the torpedoes are rocking in on that Takao there. I thought the Takao was going to get away. And I get plowed into by a teammate there, who was definitely zoomed in, so I'm not angry or anything by any means. And keep an eye on the torpedoes. Ignoring my track here in a second. So the Takao beached himself there on that middle island, and we get ourselves a hit and a hit.
You destroyed an enemy cruiser.
Those torpedoes that I launched all the way back there, I managed to sail in and get a pair of hits on them. Pretty cool. So we'll skip ahead now to the very end of the battle. We were down 3-1. There was 3 cruisers coming in on this Yugumo here. And he was instead of running away as he should have, he made a dash in at the enemy, fired off his torpedoes, and managed to kill the closest cruiser on him. And everybody's yelling at him in the chat, just run, 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 drop your smoke and run away. We're holding the caps, get out of here. And he charged in aggressively and managed to knock out the closest cruiser to him before he got killed, thankfully. And then we were able to ride out the tickets, so... That's it. That's my first Tier 8 USS Benson battle. And the in-game audio never switched over to the battle is over audio, so... It's kind of funny when that little bit of a glitch happens. So there's my hits. 40 hits, not too bad. 2 important torpedo hits at the end. Did better than almost all the other team, and look how far down I was on our team. So kind of funny. So like I said, a super cheap kill there. But it was my first victory of the day, and went pretty well. Hope you guys like this one. I will bring you more World of Warships next week. Thanks for stopping by. We'll see you guys for more World of Warships videos very soon. Have a great day, everybody.